everybody, and welcome back to another Spaghetti Shootout. Now, it is important to mention, actually, that this particular Spaghetti Shootout is the final of Season 1. We're breaking it out into seasons. So that means we're going to go on a bit of a hiatus. That doesn't mean that we will never come back with this. It will. We just, I don't know, maybe we got to think of some more ideas or something like that. It's going to be good, though, when it comes back for Season 2, don't worry. And I think we're going to have some other stuff to do in between. We got other ideas around here. We got to, make time to...
There's, as you always say, ideas. Jim, with Spaghetti Shootout, there's no rules, so we make the rules. That's why there actually is a Season 1 finishing and a Season 2 probably, because we can't get canceled.
Season 2, we might even just call Season 3, because there's no rules. By the way, the guy here who's playing host right now and questioner is Jimmy. I'm back from my unicorn conference.
Yeah,
Thanks for that, Mark.
How was that, Jim?
It's really great. Loved it. Running on a little bit of a lack of sleep, though, so bear with me here.
Yeah, pretty tired. Did people like your costume?
Yeah, they did. I didn't want to. Okay. I already was uncomfortable with people knowing about the unicorn thing. The costume, come on. Anyway, okay, so part of the caveat corral here, of course, we do need to mention that there is the meatball of the month. Now, you might be wondering, what are we going to do, being that this is the end of Season 1? If you submit meatball questions for Mark and Ryan across the table for me to debate, how's that going to happen? Well, we're always going to be taking submissions for Season 2 leading into it, so you could still potentially win just later on down the line, or maybe we'll even do something between Season 1 and Season 2 with meatballs of the month. So don't forget to keep just commenting away, and there might be ways that you could win really awesome stuff. Speaking of which, the traditional winnings that our meatballs of the month have been winning are a $100 Vortex apparel shopping spree, a set of, what is it, Crossfire HD 10x42 binoculars, yeah. Thank you, and Mark and a Camaro. How have those cameos been going?
They've been going good.
Good?
Yeah.
Jared Lovejoy, what is up, my man? Hunter, what's up, dude? Kelly Carey, Mark Boardman here. James, Mark Boardman, Vortex Optics, coming at you live from Vortex Optics. Thanks for being a meatball. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for being a part of the show. Even though this is a cameo from me, surprise, you're getting two.
Howdy.
I think they're
I'd like to hear some thoughts from some of the people who have received cameos from Mark Boardman after winning Meatball of the Month. I'd love to hear what you thought of them in the comments as well. Please let us know. Some of the comments, speaking of which, after the last Meatball of the Month, Cody managed to fill in for me. I greatly appreciated that. We have some people here. I don't know what you guys really talked about, to be honest with you, other than I saw at the beginning that you sort of aired my dirty laundry of the Unicorn Conference, but a lot of people were saying the 260 Remington is apparently the greatest cartridge of all time.
A lot of 260 fans out there.
Big time, big time. You know what? I have a feeling many of them are from Utah. It seems to be a big thing out in the Utah. Would you agree with that? Mm-hmm. Also, I just want to say a big thanks to Ron WS 2007. 2007, great year. He says, I miss Jimmy, and I hope the unicorn thing wraps up quickly. However, that was a fun one. And he says the best state is Texas.
It's a great state.
Texas is one of the states.
It's a great state
in the United States.
Yeah, that is true.
We're going to move on, everybody. We're going to exit the caveat corral and step onto the street of our Wild West town, the street of debate. Ryan, you're going to start off with a point, as much as it pains me to do so, because Mark tried to bribe me this morning.
Yes, he did, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't.
There was a gift on my desk, and I wondered who it was from, and some of my coworkers told me it was from none other than Mark Boardman. I found it funny to have a random gift on my desk. The timing seemed strange, being that today was a Spaghetti Shootout day.
I wish that that was out of the kindness of mine and my wife's hearts, Jim, to celebrate a very special occasion. And I'm hurt by the fact that you think it was in some way to sway your judgment or influence you in any capacity. It's actually been sitting on the counter all week. You know me, Jim. I've been forgetting to bring it in.
That Geno's lasagna that you got me has been sitting on your counter all week.
No, we got that yesterday,
That's
actually.
concerning.
The other
you
part
got Geno's? Yeah. If this ain't a bribe, if you've never been to Geno's Deli...
I wish I didn't drop it off today now. I wish I would have dropped it off yesterday or tomorrow or something.
Well,
other than today.
I just want you to know it's going to have no bearing on your performance. In fact, it's actually started you off 1 point in the hole.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You do something genuinely because you...
Hope to increase your standings? In this?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know what's unbelievable, Mark? You know what's unbelievable? Is the level of corruption in this house.
What'd you say earlier when you found out about this, Ryan? You said I came to the election with a bag of money?
Correct. Yeah, we came to the election with a briefcase full of $100 bills.
He who has the most lasagna to give away from Geno's, I will point out.
God, that was good lasagna too.
Is he who will push
Maybe we'll
forth
get
whatever
sponsored
agenda
by-
he wants.
I miss Geno's Deli, man.
It's
What do you
good.
mean you miss? It's still around.
I
Just
know,
go.
but it was so.
There's one over by Home Depot.
It was close to
Right
the
off
old.
151.
It was close to the old office.
What?
There's
Oh.
Yeah,
Old
there's that
Vortex.
one in middle. Yeah.
That's
there's that
like-
one
That's
in
where this one's from.
it's like a gas
is?
station and the deli. $5, you got that giant slice of lasagna.
It won't be that hard for you to drive by the one by Home Depot off 151.
I know, but
Moving on.
Geno's Deli.
Question number one.
Oh, we're doing it live.
This comes from a source.
Jim, I've got
At-
printouts.
Baston Scott. Oh, it's Scott Baston on Instagram. I don't need your. I have. This is
Much
modern
bigger.
era.
You're squinting.
It's a modern era. I have a phone. Topic number one.
Brian's probably so PO'd at me for moving right now.
I'm going to start with Ryan also because you didn't try and bribe me today. Question number one from Scott Baston on Instagram. The best wild turkey dark meat recipe is blank. Ryan, begin.
I wanted to lead off with Mark's turkey leg street tacos, but I'm going to give him turkey leg street tacos because he has perfected it and it is incredible.
Sportsmanship,
boy,
but
just
also point to Mark for having a good recipe.
It's
True altruism.
Listen, dude, I didn't bribe the host. Okay, I'm just saying you did a good job. You make some good street tacos.
Thank
They're
you.
quite delicious. Anyway, I have to go back because we talked about this in an episode earlier. I lost points now.
You did.
We talked about this in an episode earlier. The dark meat on the turkey is very moist when it's done correctly. And if you add it to a soup with wild mushrooms, oh my God, is it delicious. And you might not be a big mushroom guy, Jim, I don't know, but that is my favorite way to do it. Turkey legs, turkey back, any dark meat into that soup with the wild mushroom, and it is just...
What is this just like a generic soup?
It's like-
is
yeah,
it just what's in the soup? It's just mushrooms
Turkey,
and turkey?
Gouda, wild mushrooms, some vegetables. Good
Can I go?
vegetables.
Okay,
Yeah.
please do.
Save the legs for me, Clark. Jim, I'm taking my turkey legs to Taco Town. Ryan was right. I cannot resist a turkey leg street taco. Now, I've been doing it. We talked about it before. That's like the citrus braised carnita street tacos. You can find the recipe on the Meat Eater website. But I got something new. So you should try that
Okay, so
because it really is amazing.
It's not even your recipe.
No, but it's really good. And I modified. Everybody modifies their own thing. And you made me lose my train of thought. I'm taking a point away from you. Now, here's the other thing. I went to another website of a person I like. I went to Remy Warren's website, and he had a deer tacos recipe where you braise a front shoulder. And essentially, here's what I like about this one. It's simple. I'm losing points. Gosh darn it.
What happened to you?
Here, I'm just
Wait,
going to go. I'm
you're
going
at
overtime.
zero.
No, I'm at zero. Cool. I don't think there's a
no-
negative
you
button.
can't go down from
I'm
there.
going longer. We had a long intro. I'm going longer. You go to Remy Warren's website. You go to his deer tacos recipe. You get some enchilada sauce. It's like one white onion, a little bit of spices. You throw the deer. What I used was a deer shoulder, but I would put turkey legs in it.
Okay.
It would work for turkey legs.
Okay, but you already had a turkey leg recipe. What do you need to...
Because I want this other one that I think would be equally as good but different. And then you guys started interrupting and I got all flustered.
That was the stream of consciousness that we just witnessed was nothing short of extraordinary and also extremely perplexing.
You ever see a star explode? Here's the deal.
I
The
can't
recipe's
say I have until
on
now.
the website. It's delicious. I haven't actually made it with turkey legs yet. But I know it's going to be great, and I recommend it as my number one. I could be an influencer. Haven't done it, but I do recommend it.
Honestly, Ryan stumbled through that one as well when he had to answer his. But
somehow he comes away with 9.
He actually just gained points as you were mumbling through.
Because you guys...
Because I bribed him.
You were actually doing pretty well. When you brought up Taco Town,
I had a good...
Which is also
deer meat. Now that's what I call a turkey recipe.
Pizza, now that's a taco.
Okay, we got to move on to topic 2 here. We're
Sorry,
all a little bit
everybody.
delirious, lack of sleep, and whatever else, whatever Mark's on. Okay, this one comes from Trent. Hey, Trent. That's who supplied this question. It's 12 gauge versus 20 gauge for turkey hunting. Mark, you are going to start this one now, so begin.
Yet again, Jim, this is a case where bigger is better. You got to go with the 12 for turkeys. You got more pellets down range, and it just does a better job. Now, I will say this. I don't really speak from experience with the 20 gauge. Full admission, I haven't shot a turkey with a 20 gauge. I think they can be effective, but I think if you're going to use that 20, you should probably be using it with some of these modern TSS loads, and then I think that will really even the playing field. But a load of 3-inch 5 or 6s in lead with the 12 gauge, or maybe 7s or 9s if you're using that TSS and a good choke, those are going to be deadly on them birds this spring.
Okay, Ryan.
Are you complete?
As good as it's going to get.
Spoken from a guy who does not own anything other than a 12 gauge.
Because you don't need anything else.
And here's where Mark is wrong. 20 gauge these days, with modern loadings, as Mark has alluded to, does indeed outpace the 12 gauge. And this is just looking at specifically efficiency. I spoke with the folks at tungstensupershot.com, and we talked about terminal ballistics. Terminal ballistics in the shotgun for turkey hunting. And the gentleman said to me, you're wasting your money and you're losing money if you're shooting 12 gauge TSS, which is why he shoots and recommends 410, 28, and 20. Now, 410 is a little light for me. 20, though, in the pocket. I watched it work last year from 12 yards away and absolutely stoned.
Oh, gosh, 12 yards.
Stoned the bird. Yeah,
That's
you know
extreme.
what?
I could have done that with a trap load.
Oh, that's great, Mark, but you didn't. And it was with a 20 gauge. And that's all that matters. The 20 gauge is absolutely viable. Lighter weight, lighter recoiling, easier to pack, easier to port, easier to shoot. Doesn't beat you up, beats the hell out of turkeys, though.
I was on the internet, and
That'll break a
what
snood.
the internet said about the 20 gauge is it was good for the elderly, and I think they used the word weak. I think those were other words. So yeah, no, actually, yeah, Ryan's right. If you want to shoot a 20, go to Daddy Warbucks over here, get yourself a loan for some expensive shot shells, and have at her. I can't even say it because I use TSS shot shells.
And I buy my ammo. So.
Oh! I don't even know what to do.
Sometimes it's who you know.
Okay, well, we end round 2 with Ryan at 20 points, Mark at 10. Mark, I gotta say,
I say, you know what, 20 is pretty fitting for the, did you do that on purpose? What the last one, 20 gauge? And
what did I? Oh, honestly, I didn't do it on purpose, but that is interesting.
Now I'm shooting a 10 gauge. I'm going with the real big guns.
That is right. Now, Mark, I gotta say, I've noticed that a lot of times you can be on a roll, you can be gaining points, just like you did in round 1, and then it's just an absolute, just 5-alarm S show.
There's a lot of pressure out here, Jim.
This is a family show, so I had to say
Yeah.
it that way. But you're down 10. This is a low-scoring round this far, though, so maybe you could make it up in the next 3 rounds. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
This is topic number 3. Now, ordinarily, I'd be saying, like, this is the meatball of the month. Meatball. But a lot of these are coming from sources already.
These are turkey meatballs.
These are all pretty much meatballs here. Now, this one's from Kentucky Cabin. Ground blind or run and gun? Ryan, you're going to start this round. Go.
When I started turkey hunting, it was on the ground, obscured by brush, crawling around, getting ticks, getting wet, and getting dirty. And I've hunted out of blinds. I think they're great. You lack a ton of portability. If I'm going to pick one way to hunt the wild turkey in any subspecies, and the only one I don't have is Osceola, or Gould's, if we'll count that, I'm going to be running and gunning.
You got a reel?
Yeah.
Where?
Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't think those were considered true reels.
Okay. Anyway, like I was saying run and gun. I want to be on the ground. I want to be hunting them. Now you can kind of hybridize a little bit, and I'll carry this neat little blind. It's not really a ground blind. It's 3 stakes with some fabric, camo fabric in it, and you create yourself a little parapet, if you will, to hide behind, right? And that has been really, really effective, especially when I'm trying to hunt open ground, like spot and stock archery in Nebraska, for instance.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you define parapet? Mark, I'll give you extra time, don't worry.
Parapet, like a little wall, sometimes an elevated position. You peek up over the top of the parapet, like a screen.
Sounds made up.
You got a point for it, I guess, because it was a big word, but I still, it's beyond. Mark, you got extra time, don't worry.
Okay, well, Ryan used the word hybridize, and actually that's exactly what he shot when he was in Nebraska, was some sort of mongrel hybrid bird. But, so yeah, Jim, no, I mean, no question. If I'm hunting out of a ground blind, something is guaranteed to die. And that's me of boredom. The ground blind,
pretty good.
I mean, like, honestly, like it's like the bobber fishing of turkeys. Maybe something will happen here eventually. Sometime now, actually, here's the deal. I'll contradict myself because you know I like to do that. It can be extremely effective. It's just not how I want to hunt turkeys. Turkeys were purpose-built, man. They were purpose-built for running and gunning. You had to cover country, find birds, locate birds, call birds, find sign, have fun. You're not restricted by a blind. You're not carrying a ton of heavy gear. Stay still, use some camo, do some calling, and shoot turkeys in the face. Run and gun all the way.
Do you think for a guy that had 2 pulled quads that the blind would actually be advantageous for you?
The year was 1996.
Probably when you bought your 12 gauge.
No. It's not true.
Interesting.
How about points?
Mark,
for
you
lying?
came back pretty well there on that
Wow.
round 3. I mean, actually, you slung yourself into first place here for now. We have 2 more rounds. 25 points to Ryan's 24. Ryan, you only got 4 points there. Parapet really threw me off.
Can I look it up?
Blind hunting is
We'll
boring.
do it later. We'll do it later.
Okay.
Just,
What are you
we're
gonna-
busy.
I was going to look up parapet.
We're busy. Let's go.
Why not? Look it up. And while you look it up, Mark can explain to us what's going on with Mark's cup that's written on a stainless mug
yeah.
with dry erase marker,
So
and then Ryan's cup
I found
that
my.
I've
here,
never seen before.
We'll answer this. I found my cup on Ryan's desk, and you can tell that it's my
When you
cup.
say you
'cause
found your cup on Ryan's desk, that doesn't actually make any sense because it's been advertised to you that your cup has been on Ryan's desk for the last, Ryan, what, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah,
More?
along with a lot of his other crap that's on my desk too. Hey,
I do leave things
You act
down
as
there.
though you just stumped like, oh, this is a new discovery. It's
Well,
been
I
there.
remembered, I remember that was down there, and I saw it, and Ryan wasn't there, so I took it, and you can tell that it's my cup because it says Mark's cup right on it. And it was, I cleaned it. It was growing some sort of science experiment. So I took it
penicillin.
home, and yeah, I probably washed away some
Penicillin
sort of cure to something. And here it is today, and I'm drinking ice cold water out of it.
Penicillin was discovered on accident, probably in somebody's coffee mug.
Okay, parapet. A low protective wall or railing along the edge of a raised structure such as a roof or a balcony. Which
Why did you know that, though?
I don't know why my brain works the way it is, Jim.
Where did you, but you had to have heard that
Okay, I'll tell you
somewhere.
where I heard the word parapet. I believe it was from, it might have been a Shakespeare writing.
So cultured.
And when I heard parapet, I became intrigued by the word. I'd have been a lad of probably like, I don't know.
What
12.
girl were you trying to impress
None. It's not
when
like
you got
that.
into Shakespeare?
I'm not into Shakespeare.
Anybody who reads Shakespeare is into Shakespeare. There's no way
If
you read
you
Shakespeare.
either
Even in
you
English
either,
class.
like it was either an assignment or you're into it.
I mean,
And
even
then
in
also-
English class, when they assign you Shakespeare, nobody reads it. You just go to Spark Notes and you ask that.
Spark Notes didn't exist when I was in high
Yeah,
school,
where-
really.
Where are the spark notes?
Listen. Also, there was a type of gun called a wall gun, which was a fairly ancient firearm. They were huge, so think of like a punt gun that we would use for commercial duck hunting. A wall gun went on the parapet, and you would peek up over the top as your enemy force was approaching your castle, and you would fire the wall gun and absolutely lay them out. far more practical than.
I mean, it is kind of a good analogy.
You know
for
what that
turkey
sounds like?
hunting.
What's that?
Sounds like a great gun to use turkey hunting.
That's true. So I know the word parapet. I'm sorry.
Forget the 20. I'm going to the wall gun.
You could. They're exquisite. Oftentimes highly ornate.
Interesting.
Okay, where are we
Doesn't
at?
seem like an ornate, job that it has to accomplish.
right?
But anyway, topic number 4. Thank you for that, Ryan. Hunter.Bostic123. Best surface for pot calls. Mark, you will start.
Jim, my first call was a pot call. It was the Primos Power Crystal. Shout out to Will. I killed a bunch of birds with that thing, and I really, really liked it. I love it. I have a lot of nostalgia with it. Since then, I've acquired several other pot calls. I've got a Cody Slate call. I've got a Woodhaven Slate call. I've got a Woodhaven Crystal call as well. I also call them glass calls. Glass call and crystal call, I feel, are like interchangeable for me.
Okay.
As you would say, Jim, I suffer from crippling indecision, and this is one of those days where I'm going to have to pick between my two kids. If I'm going to pick one, I'm going to go with the Slate surface. It's classic. It's easy to control. I feel like you can make
Way to be
maybe
strong.
some more subtle sounds, and you can get loud with it too. Maybe not as loud as like a crystal or glass call, but you know what? That's not necessarily what I'm trying to do with that call when I'm using it. I'm going with the Slate.
I respect you for deciding.
Thank you.
It was impressive. That was good. Just to play the contrarian, because I was going to pick the traditional slate call, I'm going to go with a crystal surface.
I
For a
like
few
that.
different reasons.
Sportsmanlike.
A crystal surface is a lot more impervious to the effects of moisture as we hunt turkeys in the spring. Oftentimes it's dewy, oftentimes it's rainy, and a crystal can keep you squawking a little bit longer. That, and if you treat that surface correctly, and by that I mean using an abrasive pad and really getting the right finish on the surface of that crystal
Which
call.
is a must. You have to.
100%. And if you want to see an example of what not to do, all those calls Mark mentioned he has, still new in package. We can take them out and play with them.
That's a lie. What, you get points for lying?
No, it's true. That crystal surface,
I don't even have to know if it's true. I know it's true.
with with the correct treatment, the correct abrasive treatment, it can make some of the most incredible sounds. Versatile, quiet, loud, whatever you need. Thanks, Jim.
He got some points there, Mark. He did.
Unbelievable.
Okay, Mark, let's go back.
Just because he went for longer
Let's
time?
go back. No, he didn't. He had 58 seconds. I saw when he started. You actually took up 1 minute and 2, unless you count my in between you two as, I took up 2 seconds. Whatever. You did the thing. You took a long time to finally answer the question.
I'm
I think
setting
it was
the
30.
stage.
It was 30 seconds
I'm laying the
in before I
groundwork.
actually heard an opinion. Now, I had to commend you for coming up with an opinion within 30
I
seconds.
was
know
giving
that's
you
hard
my
for you.
opinion throughout.
You were more just listing accolades as, just I've owned this and I've owned that. I've owned that and I've owned this.
I was setting a baseline for believability, for
Right. Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Trying to establish a credential.
Yes,
Spoken
what Ryan
exactly
said.
like somebody that I wouldn't believe. A lot of stuttering and
You believe him, he lied.
glazed look in the eye. I totally believe that you have products
I
that
do
you've
not- I
received
do not have a
probably over the
single
last decade
pot call.
that are brand spanking new, unopened, but you speak to as though you've used them
Okay, you know
your
what?
entire
All
life.
right. Here's another point for slate calls. When people say pot calls, they're often referred to as slate calls regardless of surface. Regardless of construction.
Okay.
Put a point on it.
If you drop
What does that get you a point for?
Because it's a
just pointed out,
because it's a valid point.
What is it?
It's a valid point. People are like, oh yeah, I've got a slate, and people are like, oh yeah, but it's got a glass surface or a crystal surface.
So you just basically told me that slate call is the turkey hunting equivalent of Kleenex.
And there's a reason for that.
I don't know. Puffs is a perfectly good facial tissue.
with lotion.
Why don't you go rollerblading?
I do go inline skating.
Oh, you're a rollerblader? Cool.
I have nothing to say to you anymore. I don't even know who's going to go first on this. Is it you? Is it you? No, it's Ryan. You're going to go last. This one's...
I liked the look of disgust. Is it you?
This is topic number 5. It comes from Ak J Rod. Oh, I wonder if that means it's J Rod from Alaska.
Oh, AKJ Rod.
No, is that Arkansas? Ooh.
Ooh, maybe he likes the Optimat Kalashnikov.
Maybe so. What is AK? Is that
Alaska.
Yes.
It's
Alaska.
what is
Do you
AK?
remember what class was that? 5th grade or was it 3rd grade? I know 4th grade was state history, so I learned a lot about Wisconsin and that. But one of those other grades, I was supposed to have learned about state acronyms or state abbreviations, and I never
AK's Alaska.
never did.
Yeah,
What is
AR.
Arkansas then? AR.
Yeah, but AK could also mean AK.
Oh, can you imagine a battle between Alaska and Arkansas, the AR versus the AK?
Oh, I never put that in my head until right now.
Let's get some
boy.
Arkansans and some Alaskanites in comments. Okay, topic number 5. We got to start this thing. Thank you, AKJ Rod. Best way to make a turkey shock gobble. Ryan, begin.
Shot gobbling is an interesting thing because I've noticed that over the past probably 15 or 20 years of hunting turkeys that it has become increasingly more difficult to do it. We used to drive out, hit a crow call, you get a bird to sound off at like after dark, and then we knew we'd go to that area in the morning. And I think that increased traffic noise and just population of people has kind of desensitized the bird a little bit. But when I'm in the field now,
No science to back it up. Points.
no,
Yeah, but I love
said
conspiracy
I think.
theories.
I'm using speculation based on some experiences that I've had. Okay? So these days, when I'm hunting turkeys, especially up here in the Midwest, we have a lot of barred owls around. And if there's one thing I do know is that turkeys and barred owls do not get along. So I'll get out in the field. There's gonna be a demonstration. And it's before light, and I'll go,
That's pretty good.
and then you wait.
That's pretty
They'll
then you hear that-
gobble at loons too, apparently.
Go ahead, Mark.
All right, here's the deal. Turkeys will shot gobble at any
I actually just
number
got a little-
of things. And I'm going to tell you a little story because I like story time. My buddy Rand and I, we're getting up early. We're hunting turkeys. We got to the top of the hill. It's complete darkness. I'm thinking about throwing on an owl hoot. He passes gas. Very loud. 2 gobblers fire off in the distance. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way to get a turkey to shot gobble, but it'll definitely work. And the reason why I'm burning up a little time here is because I have the same answer as Ryan. I'm going to go with the owl hoot, and it's a classic. It works really well, and it'll get them to fire off. And should I demonstrate, Ryan or Jim?
Please do. This could sling you into the first.
So this would be my. I'm going with the. Like something like that. That wasn't my best work, but it was okay. And that'll get them to go, and I like that.
You're down 1, Mark.
That's why I told you to give me that point earlier.
I was waiting for you to really kind of stick it to him in the end. Like just with one last mic drop. I thought your call was pretty good.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I enjoy actually
40 to 41.
It's 40 to 41. Ryan's up 1. I hate to do it. Ryan's like 6-2. And he was the judge when you beat me.
And that's a score based on lies, Jim.
Who's this? This is the internet. We can say as many lies as we want as long as they sound enticing, provocative, interesting, and have some, potential for being true.
Well, then I'm just going to tell you that 40 is actually the new 42, and I win. There, that's reality now.
Way to go. I like that you're finally playing the game. But it's my game, and I make the rules, so Ryan wins, 41 to 40.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Do I now?
Yes.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Drink from the cup of truth.
Mark knows damn well that's not his cup. He knows it's not his cup.
Weird. Mark's cup.
Yes.
He's got a point there. It does say his
That's because
name
I
on
wrote
the
it
cup.
there.
Why did you write
only
it there?
to
Why
get-
would you write that?
Well, it's very
to
kind.
get in
It's
his
very
head.
kind of you. So you don't
Because-
mix it up with your insulated drinkware.
That's incorrect. The reason that I
Look
put
and
it
see.
on
There's
there,
Ryan. Why do you have your? What's on your cup? Your name.
correct.
Yeah.
The reason I write that on there is because he saw it likes the size of that Yeti cooler cup thing and goes, that's mine. It's not his. I've had that for a long time. It was a gift.
Okay, here's what I want to know. All right. Now, clearly, according
glad
to
to
our
have my property back.
According to our pre-roll, clearly, I know Ryan has been invited to at least, one social function before, like a wedding or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's had occasions occur in his life that other people are also seemingly involved in. I know you have, Mark. You're a very social person. A lot of friends. Very friendly guy.
Thank you.
So I want to know how it is that between you two over the last 5+ years, there is only one Yeti tumbler mug thing, okay? Only one. These Yeti mug things, I swear that Yeti doesn't actually make them in a factory. I actually think that they found a place on the earth where they fall from the sky or they grow on trees. They simply collect them each year at harvest or something, and then proceed to distribute them in every parting gift bag or every congratulatory you did something interesting or every gift shop, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I even believe that they have the ability to apparate themselves into cupboards, kitchen cabinets, pantries. Anyway, I think
It's
between you two, there's only one.
There's only one. Now, Jim, that's a great hypothesis. Now, Ryan, I saw you standing like this. I'm assuming that's because you're going to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yep.
What? I still don't understand. There should be at least
Here's what I'll tell you.
25 of these things
This
between
water
you two.
is
They should
still
be coming
ice
out of your
cold.
ears.
Here's the deal. Boardman has probably
I got this actually at a social function.
Tell me about where you got that, because I'll tell you where you got that. You got that off my desk.
Yeah,
Well,
which is
as
often
of
a
late,
social
yes.
place. You live in a very
correct.
social
That's the
center.
social function that you got that. Boardman has left more cups in my truck. Boardman has left more cups, water bottles, scopes, rings, gun parts on my desk. The number of Yeti products that Boardman owns is ridiculous.
I don't really have. I've only got a couple. 100.
In your truck,
I didn't.
every time you forget.
Speaking of cups left in your truck, when you met me at my house, what did I bring out to you?
Regular,
out of the goodness of my heart.
We're going to the airport. We're driving to the airport because we're flying to a show. He brings me a coffee mug, like porcelain ware.
That's not okay.
Go in his truck
In
right now.
your
There's
car.
probably 2 of them.
In your car.
Dude, I ride the Lightning every day
That's
to
not
work with an
okay.
open top coffee
Yeah,
cup.
you know why?
Why
Because he
would you do
turns
that?
on
'Cause it's
AM.
easy.
He turns on AM
I know,
11:30.
because he
All you got to
listens
do is hold it.
And the
The
part-
school board is about to pass another
You're a human shock absorber.
winter wheat has gone up another 12 points, closing out. Hog prices are continually falling.
That's good information to have.
And then he sits there when he gets to the parking lot and he's got his cup. And he listens, and then he doesn't finish it. He sets it down.
That's not true.
Mark parked his
I
Tundra-
always finish it about 5 minutes before I get to work.
Mark parked his Tundra on about a shin-high snowbank the other day, and I saw you getting a little articulation. Still the wrong tires for the job, but I did not give
We have
Ryan his last crack yet. Ryan, would you like to take a last crack? You get a minute to say whatever you want. Mark can't talk. In fact, I haven't used the mute
Nobody's
button
li-
yet today either. Mark's muted.
Yeah, please, thank you.
Okay, begin.
My last crack is we're on turkey-themed stuff. Consider learning a couple of extra vocalizations this year when you had a field. Many of us as turkey hunters, new, experienced, etc., have learned only a few calls. And I think sometimes it's important, and especially if you hunt later seasons in heavily populated areas where hunting pressure is pretty high, learn a couple of calls that maybe not everybody else has in their bag, and it might do you some like resounding and astounding success, right? Key is a good one. If you've got some birds, the flock is broken up a little bit, learn the key. You might find them. Also think about an unconventional call. I use a wing bone call these days a lot. Really digging the wing bone. It's done me a lot of good. I got it from Steve Finney at Finn Bones Custom. It's a beautiful call. It was made out of a bird I killed in Missouri. That's all.
Good stuff.
Keep on keeping on.
Thank you. There's your tip of the day.
Good one, Mark. All right, well, you heard it here. That was Ryan's last crack. I muted you a couple times during that, Mark, even though you weren't talking.
Oh, thank you.
I just had to push the button. Well, with that being said, everybody, that is the closing of season 1 of Spaghetti Shootout. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Feel free to go on back and listen to some older ones. And like we said, be sure to comment here. Still feel free to submit meatballs for future episodes, because we will be back. And between now and then, like we said, who knows what we'll be up to. Might mix it up with some other specials and things. I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just like zombieing my way through life right now.
You don't know how to work that board correctly, I'll tell you that.
Bye, everyone.
I miss Jimmy, and I hope the unicorn thing wraps up quickly. However, this was a fun one as
What's
well.
the unicorn?
Did you not watch the last
You
episode?
did not watch the last episode.
He's on the road. He's going to be there for a few days. So
No, that's it. That's all you need to hear.
it's the National Unicorn Conference of America. He showed me his collection one time. A lot of glitter. And yeah, he's on the road. He's going to be there for a few days. So I think he's got a costume and everything. Across from me, we have Mr.
hilarious.
Muckenhirn.
You're gonna die. He's gonna kill you.